Hello, everybody, and today is February 29th. Happy leap year, sorry. And welcome to Enjoy the Movies, where I, Nam, put in my 2 cents about movies. Anyway, I think I'll be starting off all my, programs or podcasts or whatever you want to call them with an intro now, because I figured, everybody's doing it, so at least all the good ones do. And I like to keep that trademark in. But anyway, last time, if you guys realized, I totally forgot to talk about 30 Days of Night, so definitely want to talk about that today. Also, there's 2 movies coming out next week, Tuesday, Sleuth and Hitman, and I want to talk about all those. So let's just jump right in, and first movie I want to talk about is 30 Days of Night. Now, 30 Days of Night is this thriller, suspense, action, horror movie, pretty much, and it stars Josh Hartnett. He plays the main character. They live up in Alaska, and basically there are flesh-eating vampires, and pretty much the plot itself, it doesn't seem too deep, but overall I like the movie. There's a lot of good suspenseful shots, a lot of nice action shots. Tension is built up very well. And there's this nice plot twist towards the end of the movie, which I think really makes it good. So definitely recommend it. Also, if you ever end up watching this movie, it's amazing because I just love like the tractor with the chainsaw, and that's just hilarious what they do with that. So anyway, 30 Days of Night, I liked it a lot. Plus, there hasn't been like a horror movie out in a while. So anywho, so that's that. Next movie I want to talk about. This one I saw the trailer for, and it seemed rather intriguing. However, when I started watching the movie... anyway, let's just introduce the movie first. This movie is Sleuth. Now, this movie, I believe, stars Jude Law as the young man, and... who's the older guy? Oh, he's some famous guy, too. Anyway, so it's basically about these 2 people, and for the entire movie, pretty much, it's just these 2 people talking to each other. And the rough plot is pretty much the older man had this wife, kind of left him, is now this younger man's lover. Younger man encounters older man at his mansion, and they basically play mind games with each other. And basically it all started out as like, fun and games, but then they start to threaten each other's life. And it's actually a really interesting dynamic. One thing though, the beginning of the movie is obscenely slow. The first, 15 minutes, I totally could not get into it. But I want to say that the rest of the movie is crafted so well. Like, the dialogue and the characters are so intriguing, and the depth at which they build just these 2 characters is good enough to draw you in. So, it's very good in that respect. It pretty much knows what it's doing, and... by the end of the movie, you're like, whoa. And it's not that long a movie either. It's like really short. It's actually less than an hour and a half. So this is one of the few movies that I feel that is really good, and it's less than an hour and a half. So thought it was very well done. I shouldn't be talking about pacing because it's a really short movie, but the beginning of the movie, really slow, but the rest of the movie just flew by. Like it almost seemed like it happened really quick. So... Sleuth, I definitely recommend it for people who like independent movies or movies that build character and have great dialogue, great acting, but there's nothing much else going on. Like, there's almost no humor. I mean, there's a couple tongue-in-cheek jokes here and there, but not really. And there's almost no action aside from the, kind of trying to kill each other, but I won't get too deep into that for fear of, ruining something. But Sleuth, thumbs up, very good, very well done. Yeah. Let's see, last movie I want to talk about was Hitman. Now, if you guys didn't know, Hitman is this movie title based on a video game. I've never played the video game. Some of my roommates did, and they said, it's a good game, and you find out about the history of this guy. But as it turns out, if there's any history of video game movies, most of them have been really bad. So, for example, Street Fighter, Double Dragon, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Those were all pretty bad. Most people think Super Mario Brothers is bad too. I actually like that one, but anyway, I digress. So most video game movies end up being really bad, and most people agree with me. I'm going to say that. But I want to say this is probably one of the best movies I've seen, and as far as like action movies go, based on a video game. So it's very well done. It's very good. It's very solid. Has a good story. You know, of course, there's some crazy action scenes, so you know it's kind of not really. So if you're not a huge fan into that, but Hitman's basically about this assassin, and he's like the best assassin. And what happens is he's hired to do some job. He does it, but he finds out later that he was conned into not doing it, and that he was led into a trap to try and be sniped. But he pretty much evaded, and well, it's a long story, but basically there's a lot of mobs and you know, intelligence agencies meddling, and he's got to go, you know, protect himself and pretty much get to the root of who's trying to kill him. So, needless to say, action went very well. Story is very solid. Acting is pretty good. There's some not very realistic parts to some of the action, but it's very well done. It's very smooth. A lot of the action scenes very well choreographed. There's some of those smooth movements. Like there's a scene where the main character, who basically we find out that he likes to be referred to as 47, and instead of shooting with guns, because there's like 3 agents trying to kill him, and he's one of them, or he's one of the 4 people in the room. They're actually on a train, and they're all holding guns to each other, but they're all like, okay, let's do this honorably, and they all drop their guns and pull out 2 swords, and that scene was ridiculously sweet. So it's a very good scene. Anyway, needless to say, definitely thought it was pretty good. Definitely recommend Hitman, and that's well worth a watch. So anyway, that's it for right now, but I'm going to try to get a bunch more movies because I won't lie, this has been a ridiculously long week for me, and I've had a bunch of free time. I think I watched like 15 movies, maybe even 20 movies this week, so let's get to that at some point soon. Alright, talk to you guys later, and enjoy the movies.